Downtown Phoenix, Arizona, the Arizona Diamondbacks here on Fox Sports Arizona. They are going toe-to-toe tonight with the visiting Washington Nationals. We have all the action for you as they go toe-to-toe. The roof is open because it's been a mild evening. By the way, mild. The Diamondbacks have not been mild in those standings. They have been very tough on those opposing teams, coming into play, holding on to first place in the National League Western Division. Hi there, folks. Welcome back to the ballpark. My name is Darren Sutton. Glad to have you with us. I just came down here, and I just picked up a couple of ducats for the upcoming Giants series coming back home. So very excited to get that going. What are you doing here?
Darren, what are you doing here? I'm coming to get some tickets.
Really?
Yeah, the Diamondbacks are red hot, man. I'm coming to get some tickets.
You're going to go to the hip and pay for tickets like I did?
Absolutely.
You're Mark Grace, huh?
Yeah, well, you know what? These are tough tickets these days. You got to come in and pay the price. You know, offense. That's what I'm seeing, a lot of offense.
That's what you're
Justin
selling your buddies on?
Kelly Johnson hitting home runs. They're also doing some little things. You know, they're putting the ball in play. I've been wanting to put the ball in play for years now, and they're doing that, so I can't wait to stand. Do you mind if I cut
You're
line?
just going to cut?
Well, hi.
This is Hannah, by the way. You're cutting in line in front of her.
Oh, I got to go to the back of the line, don't I, Hannah?
Yeah, please.
Now, wait a minute. I need to sell all these folks. They're already in line, but I need to sell them on the reason to come. I know you love offense, but it's been all about pitching for this club. This club is not there without the pitching. The bullpen that Kevin Towers assembled at the end of that bullpen, David Hernandez, Joe Patterson, and J.J. Putz, they've been incredible. Towers waved his magic wand on one more, and you hope it pans out with Zach Duke. Duke is on the mound tonight. There have been a couple of versions of Zach Duke. He struggled last year, was an all-star 2 seasons ago. We'll see which Zach Duke shows up if he pitches as well as he did against Houston. So you say offense.
I say offense.
I say pitching. We say, come on down.
Exactly.
Now, I think we all want to see you go to the hip. I want him to pay. Can you let him in? All right, he's going to the hip. We got a great one for you. It, of course, is the Washington Nationals. He's really going to pay. The Washington Nationals and the Arizona Diamondbacks. All the action right here. By the way, you guys excited to be here? All the action is on Fox Sports Arizona. Broken bat popped up. Could be a Texas Leaguer game winner. It is!
Well, a great scene here last night at Chase Field. Justin Upton capping off yet another dramatic come-from-behind win for the first-place Arizona Diamondbacks. A very dramatic change from the last couple of seasons. This group of D-backs never believes that they are out of a game. They were down 6-0 to Houston. They came back. They won that game down last night to the Florida Marlins 4-0. They won that game as well. They truly believe that they are in every game, and they certainly exhaust all 27 outs. It's our Geico quote of the game. Gibby on the Never Say Die D-backs.
They believe in themselves, and they just understand whatever the outcome is, we're going to grind it to the end, and we're going to hope that good things can happen to us.
Yeah, you got to give a lot of that credit to Gibby and the coaching staff. They've been preaching that, play hard till the last out, leave everything on the field from day one in spring training. And I think these guys are really starting to catch on to it and believe in it and believe in themselves.
And that man right there, a big part of the D-backs' success so far this season. Tonight, Zach Duke gets his second start, his first home appearance for the D-backs. He has a record of 1-0, an ERA of 0.00. So it's Duke it out against D.C. Darren and Mark, have your call on Fox Sports Arizona. It's the Nationals. It's the D-backs. Next.
River Casinos. Play slots with your Players Club card at any Gila River Casino. You could win up to $20,000 instantly. Jack in the Box. Right now, the new Bourbon Barbecue Steak Grilled Sandwich is available at participating restaurants. And by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats. No blackout days. 4-game series with the Washington Nationals. They are in town. We've picked up our tickets, Gracie and I. We're ready for the series with San Francisco coming up as well. We've got our tickets for our friends. We're glad that you've purchased your ticket tonight. It seems on your couch. Come on down when you can, but we're glad to have you with us. Jim Riggleman, the skipper for these Washington Nationals. The starting lineup is brought to you by Pepsi Max. There are some hot hitters in this lineup. Right there in the middle, Worth and Morris are getting it done. Danny Espinosa, a rookie with 10 home runs this year. Wilson Ramos catches. Rick Ankiel is finally off the disabled list. Jerry Hairston Jr. having a fine year. That's not Ryan Zimmerman, though. That's the thing. But Jordan Zimmerman is on the mound. Zach Duke, quick reflective moment as he gets ready to go to work. This is what he did in Houston. He threw a lot of changeups in that outing, 30 of the 100 pitches. And in that outing as well, he was down with his fastball.
Down with the fastball, but in the strike zone.
And there we go, over the outside corner, strike one to Roger Bernardina. And again, I said 194 pitches. A lot of off-speed stuff, but commanded it as that one is rolled foul. Started off with 2 fastballs.
2 fastballs, and he started out with 2 strikes. That's the most important thing, because Zach Duke's got about 6 different variations of his pitches. He really adds and subtracts on the velocity of all his pitches. So now he can throw about anything.
That pitch dives out of the zone. 28-year-old left-hander signed out of high school as a 20th round draft pick. And when you sign out of high school in that round, you know you want to go play baseball. And he has been at it for a long time, 161 big league starts. Off speed over the top of a slow curveball. Bernardina is done. Duke with the strikeout. That's not a change. In fact, that was a big slow curveball.
That was a big bender. Starts behind him. Down into the dirt it goes. Montero smothers it nicely and makes the throw to first base. So Zach Duke picking up right where he left off.
I would imagine right-handed hitters like Ian Desmond preparing themselves for change-ups against the righties. Lefties probably thinking curveball. Here is Ian Desmond. He digs in and takes a fastball away. Desmond, 25 years old. He was 3 of 18 on Washington's recent homestand. Now in that homestand, Washington dropped the series to San Diego and took one from Philadelphia. And they've started to find a little bit of their offense in that series against the Phillies.
Yeah, they kicked around Cliff Lee and Roy Halladay. They ended up losing the game that they kicked around Halladay. But boy, not many teams can say that they put up a 10-run ball game in a game when Cliff Lee started.
I know you think a lot of that man. Current manager, Washington, Jim Riggleman, one of your old skippers. Beat him with a fastball up. Is there a man there, though? Racing for the ball. Johnson was there, but overran it. So Ian Desmond, he of the .224 batting average, Ian is on with the double.
Right fielder number 28.
Yeah, Justin Upton nowhere in sight. He must have been playing very deep. Kelly Johnson just overruns it. He looked it right into the glove, except it didn't go into the glove.
So now with the base open and a guy who is heating up, veteran Jason Worth, 8 home runs, 22 RBIs, signed on long term, leaving Philadelphia, heading to Washington. Most of you diehard baseball fans already knew all about that. And he takes a pitch that nips the outside corner. Good, strike one. Just a little bit of dip to it, not a bunch. You're talking about Worth rolling. In his last 17 games, he's got 21 hits. So that average is climbing up now because in that time, that's a .328 batting average. In 1-1 the count.
Went outside corner with the fastball on the first pitch and then tried to zip it past him on the inside, but he missed down. Throwing a lot of fastballs here in the first inning.
1-1 the count. Duke deals, gets him to chase up. That was another fastball. So the count 1-2. Leads this club with 51 hits, also leads him in doubles. Boy, when he's right, he can be a doubles machine. And lately, Arizona has felt his wrath. 7 homers in his last 10 games. Those are stunning numbers. Duke, fastball again.
He's throwing an awful lot of fastballs. He's proud of it.
89, is that about the high end?
I think so. For Zach, he might be able to get it in the 90-mile-an-hour range once in a while, but he doesn't really need to. He relies more on location and on movement than really velocity.
Works from the first base side of the rubber. Johnson works the man at second base. Out front, there's that good-looking changeup.
Oh, a really nice pitch there after all those fastballs.
Let's take a look defensively for the Diamondbacks as they go to work behind. Para, Young, Upton, outfield. Infield, Roberts, Drew, Johnson, Nady. Late scratch Juan Miranda. We'll explain it a bit. Miguel Montero is behind the plate. And the word we were given was just didn't feel well. That was the official word on Juan Miranda. You got to be concerned. We'll keep an eye on if we see Miranda. Let's just hope he's okay.
What do you worry about that?
Well, to get a scratch that late. Swing and a miss. I'll tell you, the changeup pitch, I'd love to go back quickly that he made to Jason Worth, because righties look for this pitch, and it was a good one.
After 4 straight fastballs right off the end of the bat, just an easy comebacker and a big second out. And then he got ahead with a changeup to Mike Morse. This mountain of a man.
He's
Golly,
dangerous.
is this guy big.
And he's rolling. Folks, he is rolling. You know, they've been worried without Zimmerman, without LaRoche, and they have looked to this man to fill the slack. Whether that's fair or not, he has. 6'5", 230. He's way over that, by the way. Line drive, center field, base hit. They're going to send the runner on around to the plate. The throw from Young is cut off, so Morse, who had some big RBIs last year at Chase Field, comes through again. He stays hot. 25 runs batted in for Morse.
Well, the first run that Zach Duke's given up this season for the Diamondbacks, and unfortunately a little pop fly that Kelly Johnson couldn't come up with. Comes back to haunt him, a fastball in. Morse just cuts it off and just lines it into center field. And that was a rocket. But Chris Young, he has a below-average arm. It doesn't even get to the pitcher's mound. And so Ian Desmond scores easily.
My goodness, Morse. May and June combined hitting 400. I mean, Morse started at just 211, hitting 400. So the Diamondbacks felt his wrath in the past, but the entire National League has been in the last month. I think he's more like 6'9", 350.
I agree.
That one is
230.
inside. Here's another young man, and he's an interesting study. We talk about Chris Young statistically anyway. This is a young man as a rookie, Danny Espinosa, hitting just 214. It feels like he's not Chipper Jones. He's getting there.
He's got a little ways to go before he hits the Hall of Fame. Now, he is a switch hitter like Chipper.
But how about more like 214? But 10 homers and 35 RBIs.
I was gonna say, he's making them count. He'll remind you a lot of Chris Young, where the low batting average, but all the extra base hits. When he does hit safely, it's extra bases, and there's usually somebody on base when he does get a hit.
This one bounced toward the hole. He sneaks it in there. There is somebody on base, a seeing eye single for Danny Espinosa, who, by the way, put in his book with homers on the past homestand. Roy Halladay and Cliff Lee twice.
Stays on the changeup. Just finds a hole past Stephen Drew. Now Zach Duke trying to keep this just an ordinary one-run ball game here. But these Nationals, after a long flight over here from our nation's capital, they come out swinging it. This is as many hits as Zach Duke gave up his entire outing in Houston.
Hey, he gave up 3. It was shutout baseball. Walked just 1. Well, watch how he adapts his game plan. They appear to be looking for changeups in certain counts. That one is belted to center field. An off-speed pitch. Young is tracking, still going. High off that wall. 1 run is in. Another run comes on around, and Wilson Ramos with RBIs number 12 and 13 drives him in with his 9th double of the year. Scalded.
Didn't even get a chance to talk about Wilson Ramos. He just picked out the very first pitch he sees. It looks like a little slider and just crushes it about 410 feet to center field. Nothing Chris Young can do except turn around and try to play the carom. So Zach Duke was 1 pitch away from putting a 0 on the board. Instead, 2 really big 2-out hits have come back to bite him. Diamondbacks going to have to play catch up here again tonight.
Rick Ankiel is now a member of the Washington Nationals. He takes strike 1. Ankiel last year a postseason hero in Game 2 of the National League Division Series with a McCovey Cove homer, as Atlanta went on to win that game. Playing from behind, that has been something they've done very effectively.
But you don't want to make a habit of doing that.
No, that's a great point. Yeah, already down 3-0. Zimmerman, he hasn't even stretched that arm out yet. Curveball, ground ball, the veteran Ankiel. Now, he just made his way off the disabled list on May the 24th. Wrist cost him 19 games.
And one thing we know about these Arizona Diamondbacks, as you see their starter, Jordan Zimmerman, they are resilient, these Diamondbacks. Gas right by him, that'll end it.
So Zach Duke, his debut as a Diamondback at home. Tough start to it, 3-0. The weather outside may have been frightful about 3 p.m. Not anymore. We're getting close to full-time triple digits in the daytime. These Diamondbacks have to heat their offense up early. Again, skipper Kirk Gibson has had the Midas touch lately with his decisions late in ball games. Will they be in this ball game? Let's take a look. Lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Ryan Roberts, Kelly Johnson, Justin Upton, Stephen Drew, followed by Chris Young, Miguel Montero, red hot of late. Xavier Nady, as we've mentioned, a late addition to the lineup. Gerardo Parra, and then Zach Duke. Zimmerman ready to go. Jordan Zimmerman, he deserves a better fate than being 2-6 because you look at all the other numbers. A 3.88 doesn't walk anyone, and only 3 home runs allowed this year.
He's been awfully solid in the month of May. Hasn't given up more than 3 runs. But now it's June. This is the first start, and let's see what happens. Diamondbacks better hope he didn't bring his A game. They got work to do.
And he does have an A game. There is an A game for Zimmerman as he pours a fastball in there. Strike one to Roberts. Fastball, slider, changeup. Also a curveball as well. His changeup, and we've seen changeups very effective against the Diamondbacks in the last 2 nights. Vasquez and Sanchez in the last 2 evenings. But if he decides to lean on it, it is his 4th best pitch. And with a 3-0 lead, I don't think he'll lean on it too much. He just throws hard. Bouncing ball. Looked like a slider, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look defensively. That was something off speed. Let's take a look at the Nationals defensively, and my, how they have improved defensively. Bernardina, Ankiel, and Worth in the outfield. An infield of Hairston, Desmond, Espinosa, and Morse is at first. And then Wilson Ramos behind home plate. Washington has made 33 errors in 55 games this season. At this point last year, they had made 50 errors in 55 games. So 17 errors better. I'll say they've improved.
They've improved. That's why their record is much better, even without their 2 superstars, and that's Ryan Zimmerman and Steven Strasburg.
High pop. It's a long run. And running out of room. Trying to find a way to cool down Kelly Johnson. because he has been hard hitting for quite some time now. Take a look at the numbers, raising that batting average 44 points since he and Chipper Jones got together for a ride into the ballpark. Are the two related? I don't know. Why don't you decide? I tend to think they are. That one is up and out of the zone. 1-2 the count. And by the way, if there's any concern that Don Beller might have shared his player with another player, Chipper Jones will tell you as that one sails outside. There's a changeup. Chipper will tell you that that man helped to change my right-handed approach when he was my hitting coach in Atlanta. So he gives so much credit to Baylor.
All of a sudden now 0-2 to 3-2 on Kelly Johnson.
Last one a slider?
Looked like that was just kind of a spitter he didn't get a hold of.
3-2 the count.
Good at bat by Johnson. Wow. We've come to get used to that the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's been on that roll. We just showed you the numbers. Overall this year as a two-hole hitter, he has struggled. He's hit great in the leadoff the 9 times he's been a leadoff hitter. 372 on base as a leadoff hitter, but he is starting to heat. Justin Upton last night, the walk-off game winner.
Boy, he got a good pitch to hit there. Fouled it straight back. Power on power, Zimmerman on Upton. I mean, here it is. What can you do? And the answer to that one was just foul it back. But boy, that was just a really good matchup between bat speed and ball speed.
The 0-1.
I love that. I love a pitcher. Yeah, he's been on every highlight film the last few nights, hitting tape measure home runs. Zone's like, I don't care. Come on, let's play. Back-to-back fastballs, and there it is.
My guess is Jordan's kicking himself because he suddenly became a thumber for about 5 pitches to Kelly Johnson.
True.
Vacated.
True.
And he's a fastball pitcher. And that's why you're seeing these fastballs. That one is up and in. I think the pitcher has a little conversation with himself. Come on now. You didn't get here because of your changeup.
Yeah, he got ahead of Johnson 0-2 and then started messing around and trying to strike him out and trying to trick him. Next thing you know, he's standing on first base.
Thumber, of course, a baseball clubhouse term for a soft tossing pitcher. High pop. Ironically enough, got him out front of a slider because they are always throwing breaking balls, and you see their thumb on the follow-through.
That's exactly right.
Which he's not,
no,
by the way.
He's a power pitcher.
One and two, the count. That one is low. It dives outside. Gracie, do you remember the relief pitcher Yancy Brazoban? Pitched for the Dodgers in the big leagues?
Not too much about him. Don't remember too much about him.
Well, he's a Diamondback now.
Really?
He is signed. He is reporting to Reno. Thought I'd pass it along. Breaking news. We just found out.
Thanks.
That one is thrown over there. And you folks at home,
hang on. I just, if you don't mind, I got to go call my mom and let her know about that.
Pitched last year in Mexico. This year was in Round Rock with the Astros organization. And was in the big leagues with the Dodgers. 04 through 08. 30 years old. Bouncing ball to the right side. They better hurry. Firing on a cross, not in time. So Espinosa to Desmond, shooting it on across. So Upton is on with the fielder's choice. Quick reminder that anytime the D-backs score 6 or more, Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with a large drink purchase. So between Pudge Rodriguez And Wilson Ramos, there's good work being done behind the plate. They have thrown out 41% combined this year. That being said, think about taking off here?
Well, you're always thinking about it with these Diamondbacks. They just continually press the gas pedal. Pudge having to take a back seat to Wilson Ramos. Ramos has taken over the quote-unquote front line of this catching position for the Washington Nationals. Pudge back to maybe once every 3, once maybe every 4 games as he gets close to 40 years old. And there's my old manager, my favorite manager, Jim Riggleman.
There's a changeup to Stephen Drew. 1-1 the count.
Hung it just enough.
He has proven he's going to throw quite a few changes to lefties. The righties, they've seen a lot of fastballs. Drew 9 for his last 15 at bats, that is. Yeah, Justin scampers back as that pitch sails high. 1-1, make it 2-1 the count now. Nationals 24 wins, 31 losses. The Diamondbacks 31 wins, 25 losses. We're watching a game in St. Louis. These Diamondbacks fans are anyway. Fouled right back.
He just, once again, he doesn't care who's in the batter's box. He's just challenging these D-backs in the inning. Getting some big swings, but they're all foul balls. I like this. Here, let's play baseball. I mean, just four-seam fastball right down the middle. Love that.
Let's see what the young man is thinking now. Fires it over there. By the way, that game in St. Louis has the Giants leading the St. Louis Cardinals 5-3 right now in the top half of inning number 6. Arizona beginning play today, 1/2 game on top of San Francisco. 4.5 ahead of Colorado, who was in 3rd. Off speed, fly ball center. Looked like he threw him the first curve ball of the evening, and Drew was out front.
The key for me is keeping the ball down, using my two-seamer, and using curveball. The changeup gets pretty good action down. And really, it's just locating the ball, executing pitches, just moving the ball around the way I want, and, letting stuff work for me.
And in that first inning, he was unable to accomplish those goals, unfortunately for Zach Duke. That's exactly what he did in Houston. But here in this ballpark, it's been a tough start for things for Zook. The 28-year-old turned April 19th, 28 years old. And Jerry Hairston Jr. takes a pitch that is outside. The veteran utility ball player, last couple of years has found himself in some interesting spots. A world champion in New York with the Yankees 2 years ago, and instrumental for Buddy Black's team in San Diego last year. 1-1 the count. Signs up in the nation's capital, and then all of a sudden, Mr. Zimmerman, who had abdominal surgery. By the way, Ryan Zimmerman, the all-star third baseman, is playing in extended spring games. There's playing time. If you're a utility player in the National League, you're going to play some. And if someone gets injured, you're going to play a lot.
That's exactly right. And in the American League, you're not going to play much at all.
Totally a different feeling, though I'm sure he's not giving back that World Championship ring that he got a couple of years back. Brought into the Yankees for just that reason. Be one of those last guys on the roster. Popped him up, beat him with a fastball in. What made it good, Mr. Grace?
The fact that he got it, it was right after a changeup, and then he went right at the letters and got it to the inside corner. You can see that pitch got to the inside corner, and it jammed Hairston just enough to pop him up.
So now the pitcher, Jordan Zimmerman. 2 of 16 this year. Right down the middle from Duke. Duke's first year in the big leagues, he exploded onto the scene. As a matter of fact, minor leagues and pro ball together. He had a really incredible start. This is not easy for Kelly. That's a base hit. Boy, Zimmerman, give him credit.
Getting down the line, wasn't he?
Sniffing out a base hit. That's an athlete a bit anyway. I know we're always careful about pitchers with you sitting here, but he ran the bases pretty healthy to me. Sniffed out a chance to help himself out.
Yeah, he said, I'm going to bust it. Stride it out nicely, and he beats it. Good for him. I don't like those guys that don't run out their ground balls, their pitchers. I like old teammate of mine, Terry Mulholland. Remember Terry Mulholland? Loved the way he went about his business, worked as hard as anybody. Always ran to first base when he got a sac bunt down, or always ran out a ground ball. And then he was, man, if running 30 yards makes me too tired to pitch, I should be doing something else.
That's a great attitude. He was very much of a throwback, wasn't he?
And if running 30 yards makes me too tired to do my job, then I'm not in very good shape. Good for Jordan Zimmerman.
Drops down a bunt. It's going to be tough, but it trickles foul, and fortunately it does. Bernardina trying to hang in there against a left-handed pitcher. And a lot of these guys on this team, this is a club that has not handled left-handed starters well this year. Just 158, and you want to keep him off base anyway. 7 stolen bases.
Just missed the inside corner.
Didn't Terry Mulholland, I think he used to keep a baseball card in his wallet of some classic old ball player like a Warren Spahn to remind him how to keep the game going forward and to play the game that way. Swing and a miss. Now, Terry Mulholland, that's a good mention by you, Gracie.
He was one of my favorite all-time teammates. Finished up his career out here with the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Had a chance to cover him near the end in Atlanta when he was pitching there out of the bullpen. Here's Ian Desmond, the athletic shortstop. Desmond, he got things going with a double back in the first inning. He was 3 of 18 on this recent homestand for the Nationals, so pretty quiet. But when he gets hot, he gets hot. He leads his club with 14 multi-hit games. And he's another one that really can run. Well, these two Jackrabbits, if they could raise that on base a little bit, both of them, talking about Bernardina and Desmond, that'd be big trouble. 0-1 the count. That one dives down and out of the zone. Change up there.
That was a change-up. Tried to get him to chase it off the outside corner. Didn't work out. He's got a very good change-up. Got that same arm swing. Kind of throws across his body.
Zach on 1-1. Has him out front, popped up. Looked like that was the same pitch.
He's going to try to get another pop-up double down the right field line. This time Kelly Johnson puts it away. Right around the corner, folks, it's going to be Father's Day, so plan on spending the day with Dad at the old ballpark.
Yeah.
Well, Sunday, June 19th, it's Father's Day, and the D-backs will take on the Chicago White Sox for a 1:10 afternoon game. Be one of the first 5,000 dads to come to the game, and you'll take home a D-backs barbecue set. Get tickets today at dbacks.com or call 602-462-4790.
And even if you don't barbecue, you know someone in your life that does, that works that grill. So pick it up, because if you come down and pick it up and you want to re-gift it, Christmas is right around the corner. Chris Young to lead it off.
And folks, it's early June.
And the fastball is away. Want to know the count?
Are you a re-gifter?
Oh, absolutely.
No, you are so bad.
If it's something you're not going to use and it's unopened.
If it's a lousy gift.
No, not lousy gifts.
No, really, mother-in-law. Thank you for the chartreuse socks. Yeah, I'm gonna give them to Gracie for Christmas. As that one skied a lazy fly ball to center field, and Kiel put it away, one down.
Here is Miguel Montero. 276, 6 homers, and 27 batted in.
Miguel's a very classy, nice young man. He would never re-gift.
Oh, I'm sure of it. All the free things you ball players get, they make great gifts. I find myself hanging around when it's giveaway day to the guys. Hand out. 1-0 the count. No, called strike. High and inside. 0-1 the count to Miguel Montero.
There's that breaking ball. The third pitch from Zimmerman.
One and one to Montero. Chases down and out of the zone. That looked like a changeup diving down and away. Yeah, make your plans, by the way, on Father's Day. Little Birdie just told me that 30,000 tickets have already been sold for that game. We hope to see you down here.
That's great.
Inside.
Missed that elbow.
That's a good 1-2 pitch.
And that's the same elbow that Miguel Montero got whacked in last night by a pitch. He moved it tonight.
The 2-2. Swings over the top of a slow curveball, and Montero is done. He has gotten Drew out front with a curveball and Montero with a curveball.
First baseman number 22, Xavier Nady.
So now Xavier Nady. We were mentioning that Nady, a last-minute addition. Juan Miranda, we're still trying to find out exactly what it is that ails him. We hope he's okay. He just said he wasn't feeling well, but.
Well, anytime a rookie can't go to the post, well, you know he's got to be on his deathbed. Just hope he's okay.
1-1 the count. Fly ball well struck into right center field. On the move is Ankiel, still tracking, and he puts it away. So the Wisconsin-born right-hander, so far so good, Jordan Zimmermann. Episode of the 10th Inning Show. Get an inside look at AMC's award-winning Breaking Bad show and find out what its connection to the Diamondbacks is all about. It's the 10th Inning presented by CenturyLink, Sunday at 4 and 10 p.m. only on Fox Sports Arizona. Jason Worth digs in and takes a pitch that is low. 1-0 the count. Worth grounded right back to the box, was out front of a changeup, fooled pretty badly in his first step out of the ball game. Up front again, this time looked like something off speed and in.
It was another changeup. You're right, Darren.
Well, he pulled that one in. As he has gotten older, and he certainly could be categorized as a late bloomer, but he has had into his early 30s a fabulous career, and it didn't happen until he had a few years in. Remember, Worth was a Dodger to begin his career.
Came up as a catcher. You imagine this big old long lanky guy behind the dish? He's a big man. He's 6'5". And that's a very strong, lean body.
Got the call. That is a strike. That is the end for Mr. Worth. Ran it down and in. Like a little cut fastball. 87.
Just shaved that inside corner, as did the pitch prior. Nicely done there by Zach Duke.
Here's Michael Morse.
He got a huge hit in the first inning with 2 outs. Drove in a run with a base hit to center field, and then a couple more hits followed, and these Nats put up a 3 spot to start the ball game.
That one runs inside. Morris actually born in Jamaica back in 1982. When he made it to the big leagues years back, became the first Jamaican-born ball player to play in the major leagues. As that one is a good pitch, but it's inside. Grew up in Florida. Originally was a White Sox, Chicago White Sox. Change up again.
He was just leaning on a fastball, trying to hit that one out of the stadium. Instead, got a change up and couldn't hold up. Smart move there by Zach Duke.
A 2-0 changeup. Went back outside with something soft as he bounces around on the mound. Look at that. We're seeing more and more youngsters at the ballpark. School is out.
And we want to see everybody down here.
Oh, my goodness.
Gracious sakes alive. Thankfully, that did not hit Zach Duke. Mike Morse, he's going to hurt somebody before his career's over. He's going to hurt somebody bad. He might hurt a fan in the like the home run area. He hits the ball so hard. Golly, look out.
Listen to this, by the way.
I never had a bat that made that sound.
Danny Espinosa, the rookie. Before the game, your old manager and his current manager, Jim Riggleman, saying that he has talked to Jim Tracy a lot about Troy Tulowitzki. Espinosa comes from Long Beach State and has kind of that same Tulowitzki fight and spirit that Riggleman is told about when he speaks with Tracy on the telephone. Tell you what, he's come out hitting homers. We were mentioning that earlier for Espinosa. The 1-0. We mentioned he got Halladay, he got Lee. They're in his book. Got him on this last homestand. Adam LaRoche, former Diamondback, disabled. Hot shot, foul ball. So we'll do it again with Espinosa. And that's what we're talking about, those last 4 games. Born in Santa Ana, California, Nationals 3rd-round pick in 08, out of Long Beach.
Somehow that one missed him.
Mike Rizzo, we haven't seen him. We don't know if he is on hand with these Washington Nationals. A one-time director of scouting for the Diamondbacks for about 6-7 years, at 00 to 06. He's got some big decisions to make now as the GM with the upcoming draft.
He's a good man. Has done a very good job since he's been with the Nats.
Over the top. There. He's thrown a couple of down in the count changeups.
Well, you can see these Nationals, when they're thinking fastball, they come unglued. So Duke pulled the string on him there and got a swinging strike. Now let's see if Riggleman decides to get the feet moving to Mike Morse at first base. Those big feet.
Chopper out to Roberts at third. Long throw on a cross. Put a lot behind that throw despite setting his feet pretty firmly there. Nice job. Blake Kachinko, it is great. I know Gracie's been asking about it, so I'm going to fill him and you in. The kids and I enjoyed it all winter long. Kept the machine in the garage there. Played as a family. Find out and learn how you can play right here at Chase Field by going to the interactive kiosk near section 111. During regular season home games, it's our good friends and partners with Gila River Casinos. Sometimes even on a school night. 0-1 the count.
Really?
To Wilson Ramos.
You allowed the girls to go out there and play on a school night.
That's just in the garage.
As soon as they got their homework done, he's dying to play.
Ramos scalded a ball in his at bat. Curveball, a big bender, doubled off the wall. Oh, 0-2 the count. The Nationals to a man. Excited to get in, and look at that batter's eye in center field. Talked about 3 or 4 of them. That man in particular says, I love hitting here. Into the dirt. Nice job, Montero. I don't know if he's down there, but we also get a chance, Gracie, in this series to see friend of the show, Livan Hernandez.
One of our favorites. He's going to pitch in this series.
That's right. We get to see him pitch Saturday. 1-2 the count. Into the dirt. Montero blocks it up. On down to first, and that'll end things. So, Duke piecing it back together, but he and his club still down 3-0. From Washington, D.C., the Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning Cool Plate. Teddy Roosevelt, in about 350.
Not
Has
anymore.
Never won. Look at him. On the Segway, winning it. And it was immediately overturned.
I don't believe it was. I think he's a winner.
Oh, no. Just like your likeness trying to hop into some sort of go-kart last year and win. Not going to happen.
It was just wrong.
Not going to happen for you.
Good for Teddy.
Not going to happen for Teddy.
Now me and that power drill down in Atlanta, which is a terrible race. He's never won. And it's one of the flimsiest power drills I've ever seen. If you know what I'm talking about, if you've ever been to a game down in Atlanta, they got this power drill with a droopy drill bit or whatever. And he never wins. He and I got a lot in common.
You couldn't drill through a wet loaf of bread with that power drill.
Not at all.
0 for 75. Here's Gerardo Parra. So look forward. Tune in later on tonight. Hot shot. Maybe the Diamondbacks will be playing for a victory at that point as well. Parra hustling on around. Worth plays it effectively. Gerardo Parra has needed that. In his last 10 games, he has only 5 hits, hitting a lowly 185. Let's see if he can get going.
Well, anytime you can get an extra base hit leading off an inning and he gets a 2-0 fastball, he's ready for it. He just turns on it down the line. That one gets past Big Mike Morse. That's extra bases. Now Zach Duke, even though he had the 3-run homer his last start in Houston, he's going to be asked to bunt here.
Well, he has hit 1 homer. He's got 40 career sack bunts. I think he will be asked to do the latter, as you said.
If he can bunt it firmly to the third baseman, like he just did, he'll be successful. Golly, that's pretty.
He's a good athlete.
I like
no one's
seeing
ever
that.
questioned that. Handled that nicely. Zach Duke, 41 career sack bunts now.
That was a blueprint right there.
Why do you bunt it to the third baseman?
That's a good question, because if you can make the third baseman field the baseball, there won't be anybody covering third. So his only play will be to first base. That's beautifully done by Zach Duke. You can see nobody's covering third base. So easily on into third goes Gerardo Parra, and a nice job of helping himself by Zach Duke.
His club has more come-from-behind victories than any team in the big leagues with 17. It has become the norm. But what they have shown is it doesn't usually all come in one bunch. They usually get a homer or some sort of a key hit that reminds them what they can do.
Well, right now, just a little ground ball to the shortstop will make it a 3-1 game. You just need contact here.
Roberts spins out of there.
Roberts was the juice provider last night, if you will. Down 4 runs. He had a little juice to the crowd by hitting a 2-run homer. And the Diamondbacks still haven't looked back. Good fastball in right there, and that one locked him up.
You talk about those come-from-behind victories this season. As we mentioned, Willie Bloomquist and his aggressive base running, 17. Then Colorado was 16. That was some high leverage base running there. Some risk taking by Willie Bloomquist. Going from first to third on a ground out. You better make it.
Yeah, he said looking back on it, probably wasn't the smartest thing to do, but as my partner always says, all's right that ends right.
Well, in Reno, 2-2 the count.
I like that saying. I like that young man, Barry Enright.
We had a fan send us that. Bouncing ball out to third. Parra scampers back, and he is tagged out. Great heads-up play by the veteran infielder. If you're going to give me an out, I'll take it.
Gerardo Parra, really don't know what he was doing, to be honest with you. I guess we'll have to ask Gerardo at the end of the day, but in that situation, you either go or you stay. You don't do both. And Gerardo Parra got caught, well, doing both.
So unfortunately, another part of the trademark come-from-behind victories for the Diamondbacks, and we're now living it, is you usually reach the point where you believe there's no way that they'll come back and win. Things like that. And then suddenly they resurrect themselves. And they battle their way back. 1-0 the count to Kelly Johnson. There was a point last night in the bottom of the 6th inning where the Diamondbacks got a leadoff single. They were down 4-0. Daniel Hudson, surprisingly, was left in the game to bunt, and he failed to move the runner up. At that point in the game, you thought, nah, probably not tonight.
Not tonight. 3 runs later, there they are. But it's also, yeah, and it's good to believe, and it's good to say, hey, we're fine. But that's a well you don't want to go to continually. Falling behind early and depending on your team to come back. Yeah, Diamondbacks have shown that they believe and they do have the ability to come back. But also, that is also predicated on Zach Duke keeping this at a 3-run game. No more runs for the other team. And you also can't have base running mistakes like that. Base running mistakes will just knock the air right out of a team.
1-2 the count. Kelly Johnson, he walked back in the 1st inning. Fastball is inside. 2-2 from Zimmerman. Zimmerman has kept the ball in the ballpark at a really effective rate this year. Only 3 home runs allowed and 60 in a third coming in. Lefties have hit just one homer in 126 at bats. 2-2. Curveball into the dirt, a fabulous pitch. He has shown those curveballs to lefties, and they have been to his success. This squelched the rally for the Diamondbacks. You'll lead it off. 3-0 is the score. Washington on top. Our AT&T trivia question. Name the 3 players with the most pinch hit home runs in Major League Baseball history. The most pinch hit home runs in Major League Baseball history. Breaking ball went around to Ankiel. 0-1 the count on Rick. That's a good question. Talking pinch hitting tonight. That one is inside. We'll see if Duke can do what you talked about. Keep it right now at 3-0 while his club tries to scratch and claw. Ankiel struck out back in the first inning. Lifts that one to left field. Gerardo Parra still drifting. Now is under it. And he makes the play for the out. Well, we have a visitor. I know he's a good friend of yours, friend of the show.
Who's that?
I mean, a salty veteran pinch hitter down there in that Nationals dugout.
One of our buddies, Matt Stairs.
Could it be Matt?
There's Matt
very
Stairs.
good.
We love Matt. And by golly, Matt loves us.
0-1 the count to Jerry Hairston.
How about a guy that I played against a lot and saw him do a lot of damage? How about John Vanderwall?
Ooh, good guess. Oh, Gracie.
Thank you.
Very well done. Hey, just got a note come in from the ambassador.
Oh, what's Gonzo got?
Luis Gonzalez with a guess. He just dropped me a text. Is that when they say hot shot base hit left field? After the leadoff fly out to left, Jerry Hairston with a single past the diving Ryan Roberts.
What'd the ambassador have to say?
Oh, I'm glad you brought me back to that. He wanted to guess, and he's not quite sure if this is right. Kind of hesitated, but I think he believes in it because he had some ... Here, whenever you put a ... in your text, you're not sure. But his guess may be right. Juan Pierre. Zimmerman drops down a bunt, and it's foul.
Oh, what a terrible answer that was on Gonzo's part. Oh. Juan Pierre. Let's see. How about another famous? Well, the guy with the most pinch hits of all time is Lenny Harris. How about Lenny Harris? Lenny Harris, former Diamondback. Most pinch hits, but no, hey, how about a great? I got it. Great pinch hitter, Manny Mota.
Broke his bat over a drawn-in infield. The slash play is on. It is alive and well and very effectively used by the Nationals and Zimmerman. Boy, that was beautiful. Roberts charged. It's as if he threw the ball with his bare hand over his head.
Yeah, Ryan Roberts was just challenging him to do it, and he did just that. Chops it right over the top of him. You can see where Roberts is. And right over the top. That's great stuff there by Jordan Zimmerman. That's what you're taught to do. That's exactly what he does. And he burns Ryan Roberts there. Now, Zach Duke going to have to do something with Bernardina to thwart a rally. Bernardina has done absolutely zippo off of Duke so far with a couple of strikeouts.
Roger was 5 of 17 on the recent 6-game homestand for the Nationals. And so far so good with runners in scoring position this year, hitting .325 for Bernardina. 1-1 the count. And by the way, if it's on the ground, you'd better hurry if you're looking to get Bernardina at first for a double play.
He's a flyer.
That pitch is in. 2-1 the count. Duke has pitched in this ballpark as a Pittsburgh Pirate a bunch. 4 times, a .376 ERA. He's As a matter of fact, as a Pirate last year, he came in and beat the Diamondbacks. A 6-3 win. He was a member of the Pirates. His Pirates won at 6-3, and he beat Dan Herron.
Right at the bottom of the kneecaps for strike 2. Yeah, the Pirates had their way with the Diamondbacks last year.
On this next road trip, a Pittsburgh club that returns home, they have spent a majority of the season on the road. I mean, they have had a ton of road games, and they'll be looking to get right. Diamondbacks head there next week. And for a team that has been wandering out, journeying through places not called Pittsburgh, they may be tough to deal with when they get back home. Slow breaking ball, fouls it off. Duke gets 70 pitches here in the 4th inning. We're talking about his first year in the major leagues. He won 8 games. And he had won in the minor leagues that year 12 games. So in 2005, he won 20 games between the minor leagues and the major leagues. He was 8-2 to begin his major league career. The 2-2. Underneath the breaking ball, kept it high.
Yeah, you have to find a way to dispose of Bernardino. This is a guy that you've struck out twice. He hasn't done anything off of you. You don't want to mess with Ian Desmond with the base loaded and 1 out. Got to find a way, somehow, some way to retire Bernardino here and get that much needed 2nd out.
3-2 to the young man from Curacao. Instead, it's a look back. Been in this organization a long time, Bernardino, since they were the Expos when he began in the minors, the low minors. 3-2. Ground ball. Kelly, there's 1. That's all you'll get, as we were saying, but a big 2nd out. Runner moves to 3rd in Hairston.
Nice job by Kelly Johnson going to his left and then turning around and firing a strike to Stephen Drew to get the lead runner. And a big 2nd out, as you said.
So now Ian Desmond. Six of his last 16 with runners in scoring position. Fouls that one back. We'll do it again. 0-1 the count. Desmond was an Expo, was drafted in 04 out of high school in Sarasota, Florida. 3rd round. Inside from Duke. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Runners on 1st and 3rd.
Good pitch there. Slower than slow breaking ball. Desmond waited as long as he possibly could before he fired those wrists at that baseball, and he just could not keep it fair. Good pitch.
The 1-2.
Mercy. That'll get your
helmet
attention.
high.
That will get your attention. Up and in. Man.
So Riggleman's squad looking to add on the 2-2. Got the call over the outside corner.
It's unfair. You go an ear hole ball and then throw the outside corner at the knees. Good stuff from Zach Dukes.
not Juan Pierre, the 3 players with the most pinch hit home runs in Major League Baseball history.
I'd love to know what Gonzo was thinking on that.
Cliff Johnson. That's
Oh,
a big name right
Cliff
there
Johnson.
in the middle.
Man, that's back in the 70s. Big Cliff.
Teammate of yours?
No. That's very good, though.
Here's Justin
Might have
Upton.
been a teammate of Matt Stairs.
Maybe so. I mean, you played with like the likes of Manny Mota and Vic Davalillo, didn't you?
No, I didn't. Loved watching him as a kid. And you can just hush yourself.
Justin Upton. First pitch, breaking ball. A curve ball that is lined into left field, so Upton's been on twice. Reached on a fielder's choice and reaches on that single. He has been doing damage. His team has been doing damage on hanging benders. You don't get away with them.
Justin just sits back and rips it into left field. So, Zach Duke has done a good job of keeping the Washington Nationals at just that 3 runs that he gave up in the first. Let's see if the Diamondbacks can start to claw their way back. This is kind of when they start to make a little noise.
Stephen Drew was 5 of 10 in that Florida series with a walk and a hit by pitch. Back to the screen, was ready for that fastball, but missed it. '26th career game against Washington, an on base of nearly 380. He's homered 3 times against them. Boy, that one dives down and away. Good looking changeup. CenturyLink. We love their partnership, and they present the high-speed, internet high-speed pitch. About what we thought. Zimmerman reaching 94, Duke 89 miles an hour. Zimmerman, a great story. From a small college, a Division III college in Wisconsin. Stevens Point. That one is outside. And when you've made it to the big leagues from a Division III school where you had to pay to go to school and there are no scholarships, you've done something. And they noticed him early. Now, this is a 2nd-round pick. So he did his big work in college at Stevens Point.
Which means he must have just been absolutely dominant.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. That curveball's been a weapon when down.
Especially on the left-handed hitter. He's really gone to it a lot with the left-handed hitter. We saw Kelly Johnson strike out to end the 3rd. And now Stephen Drew, same story, along with Montero earlier in the game.
That curveball is a pitch that is actually slower than his changeup. In the last few nights for Arizona, it has been those secondary slower pitches, changeups the last few nights. Tonight, the curveball that have given the Diamondbacks problems. Well, you can go, that curveball is about 78. You go 15 miles an hour difference. Anibal Sanchez, it was a changeup. Esmerling Vasquez threw a lot of changeups. But then again, I guess that works against most teams if you can change speeds like that.
Especially if you can keep it low and out of the strike zone like Zimmerman's doing with the breaking ball.
The pointers, by the way. Wisconsin, Stephen Point, the pointers.
Like a hunting dog.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
It's cold up there at Stevens Point.
Is that northern Wisconsin?
Yes, it's, I mean, really cold. Bouncing ball. He is keeping those bats in the deep chill. First double play induced this season by the right-hander. Number 1.
welcome back, folks. And if you're looking for a fun way to spend Friday night, get to the ballpark tomorrow. That's Friday night for happy hour before the game. Man, we got a full house out there tonight. Happy hours from 4:30 to 6:30 in the Miller Lite Diamond Club before every Friday night home game. It's open to all fans in the ballpark, so come and enjoy drink specials and music. Call 602-462-4796 or visit dbacks.com/happy hour.
We'll see you at the ballpark. A solid read.
The Miller Lite Diamond Club's full tonight. That might be having a bit of a mixer.
That one is low and away. 2-0, the count to Worth.
I hate to miss out on a good mixer.
They got all sorts. We saw some families and some young folks. We saw some all kinds of folks out there. It's a great venue, great spot to check out the game. Bouncing ball, foul ball. The story tonight, 8 of 20. 8 of 20 Washington against the southpaw, Zach Duke. That's 400. Some easy math for me. They hit just .211 this year against left-handed pitching. They haven't hit lefties at all this year.
At all.
Oh, boy, high fly, drives it to right. Did he get under it? It had that sound, but he got under it.
It's too high.
Whoa, yes, it was. Yeah, that batting average against left-handed pitching is the lowest in the majors.
Remember the great movie, Major League? The very few Indians fans that were there. Guy hits a long fly ball, and the fans are out there. It's too high. It's too high. It won't be a homer. It's too high as it sails into the seats.
I love how they shot that movie in Cleveland, Milwaukee's County Stadium.
Good point. Well, this guy has scalded 2 balls tonight. And that would be one Michael Morse.
Ah, look at that. All the team photos at the monument. Either that or he's just got a great condo. That might be out his balcony.
Right out his balcony.
Oh, boy. Buried it in.
Yeah, he jammed him with that one. I think that's what you have to do with these, these big old pachyderms like Morse. You got to stay in. Don't let them get those big giant arms extended. Stay right in on their belly button. Bring them to their knees.
Golly.
Because the bigger they are, the harder they fall. I just made that up.
I liked it. Morse, I'm guessing he has to be like 7'2", 375.
Oh, boy, he just missed it.
Oh, Lee popped up. Long run, Upton and Nady, and the two get together, and Upton couldn't hold it. Two coming very close together, Nady and Upton.
You hate to give Big Mike Morse an extra swing, but he's going to get one here. Both Nady and Upton seem to get there at about the same time, and Justin just can't make the play.
Took a big bite out of his glove after he couldn't make the play. Morse, by the way, now has an 11-game hitting streak. And he's also homered in 5 of his last 9 games as well.
Gonna stay inside on him. Oh, my goodness. He did not get that inside. Oh. Oh, my goodness. Well, the good news is nobody got hurt, folks. This is just a hanging, breaking ball. Oh. And a mighty swing. This guy's going to be fun to follow throughout this 4-game series.
Popped up coming this way.
Catch it, Darren.
Nope, up over our heads. Sorry, 2-2 the count. It was a good effort by me, though.
Well, let's be honest, it was a pitiful effort.
The 2-2. Broke his bat. A stutter step by Drew, then it snuck on by him.
He got the extra swing. And the red-hot Michael Morse makes the Diamondbacks pay.
And be careful here with Espinoza. As we mentioned earlier, though Danny's hitting just .217, it's allowed .217 with 10 home runs, 6 doubles, 4 triples.
He can still hurt you, certainly.
When he was coming up as a young minor leaguer, they talked about him being a prospect, saying he just had average tools and was barely a prospect. That's why we were talking about earlier. He is Jim Riggleman's kind of guy. He has enjoyed managing him and seeing him work his tail off. He's played just about everywhere in professional ball in the infield. And he rolls that one foul. Over the head of our good buddy, former Diamondbacks third base coach. Now with Washington. Bo Porter's out there. Bo always easy to deal with and a nice man when we covered last year's club. Which
Classy man.
Which wasn't fun for a lot of those guys.
No.
We wish him well. Very classy man. That pitch is high, sails up out of the zone. Duke was an all-star in 2009. Finished the year in the second half of the year with a little bit higher ERA. But 25 starts in, he was working with a 3.25 earned run average. And that's his lone all-star season, as that one is a high strike. 2-2 the count. He's managed to scatter 9 hits in 4+ innings and allow just the 3 runs. Well, what's going on with the Houston Astros, Gracie?
Well, ever since the Diamondbacks swept them right out of Houston, they went into Chicago, swept the Cubs, and now they've put up a touchdown in San Diego tonight through 3 innings. 6-0 as that one's ripped.
Pretty piece of hitting. Line drive into right center field. Young cuts it off. And a well-struck baseball. Picked on something away. He tries to pull it. He's out. He didn't try to do that. And Danny stays hot. 2 for 3 today. That's 10 hits.
Yeah, that's a changeup that stays up, and Zach Duke just felt the effects of anything. Anytime you hang a changeup out over to a strong hitter, they're going to hit it. And boy, he hit that ball hard. Nice job there by Chris Young, cutting it off, saving a run. But with only 1 out, here come the Nationals again.
Wilson Ramos puts that one on the ground. Boy, you better hurry if you can. Not in time, and a run scores. Four to nothing.
Wilson Ramos chugging down the line, a big old catcher. But he beats it and proves once again that if you just put the ball in play, you give yourself a chance right there. Kelly Johnson does everything he can, but tie goes to the runner. Good call over there by first base umpire Bruce Dreckman. And he got that call absolutely correct.
Rick Ankiel takes into the dirt. 1-0 the count to Rick. Pitches in, 1-1. You ever have a chance to face Ankiel when he was a pitcher? Or see him pitch when he was really good?
1-1 to Ankiel.
Oh, so I guess you did.
Here with 2 outs in the 5th.
Touched a nerve there, folks. Well, I want to get on those numbers.
Good fastball right there. First strike 2 to Ankiel. Yeah, I faced him 1 time, Darren.
Just once.
Just
okay.
once. And I struck out.
All right, well, that's just 1 time. Micah warming in the pen.
And I went down, said hello, And he reminded me of that at bat.
Really?
Oh, yeah, he remembers it. He remembers it.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
Man who lost command of his pitching, made his way back to the big leagues as a hitter. And he remembers that
sure.
one time.
Yeah, hey, Gracie, I remember. I remember striking you out. Yeah, I know.
I remember striking you out.
Well,
I tell you, I'm coming to really like Rick Ankiel.
I can't imagine if he would have just.
That's why I asked.
Pitched. How good this guy would have been as that one's grounded to. He could have been one of the best left-handers right there along with Randy Johnson. He was that good.
Washington on top of Arizona by a 4-0 score. You see Washington scattering those 10 hits against a left-handed pitcher. It's the most hits they have had in a game this year, tying a mark back in April against the Mets' Chris Capuano. It has been a big offensive night for these Washington Nationals. All right.
You're ready, huh?
Here we go, folks. Miguel Montero leads it off. Miguel struck out back in the second inning. And that fastball grabs the outside corner. And the small college star, Zimmerman. Oh, and 2 the count to Montero. Montero, diving play, up with it, a fine play by Espinosa.
Great play. Full extension on the dive, and knowing he's got plenty of time with Montero running. I mean, this ball's hit very well. That's a fabulous play by Espinosa. Goodness.
Xavier Nady chases a fastball that races out of the zone. 0-1 the count. Zimmerman pitching in a summer collegiate league, the North Woods League, which is maybe a step down from like the Cape Cod League or Alaska, but still an honor to be invited to play up there. That is where he really opened the eyes of professional scouts, because he's playing against guys from bigger Division I schools in that North Woods League. A lot of Big Ten baseball players, and he owned the league.
Really?
Owned it. A 1.01 ERA. And he showed a strong arm because in summer ball, he pitched 80 innings.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot at the college level.
Struck out 92. So that's going to get scouts coming around in those summer leagues. Of course, a majority of them spend a lot of time at the Cape Cod League. And then they'll go to places like the Jayhawk League and the Northwoods League.
I played in the old Alaska League.
Oh, boy.
I played for the North Pole Knicks, and the very next year after I left, the North Pole Knicks, well, they had Steve Finley and Luis Gonzalez the very next year.
Fastball is high. It's summer ball is important for a college baseball player to get that invite, isn't it?
I loved it.
And that's an invite situation. You get invited by these programs and the college coaches that help coach them.
That's exactly right. Just missed 2-2.
Which still backs up your point that at Stevens Point he had to open the eyes enough to get invited to play in that Northwoods League. Curveball is fouled off. Hasn't thrown many of those to right-handed hitters.
All right, Mr. Ramos, what do you want? I want a fastball away.
And it's on the ground. We love the word of the game. It's a brand new concept. The word is courtesy. Log on to FoxSportsArizona.com for your chance to win 2 tickets to the Fan Fest at the Convention Center, giving away 3 pairs of tickets during every D-backs telecast. The word is courtesy. Courtesy is the word. And, you know, we've been talking about summertime and vacations. We're talking tickets coming on the air. Gracie and I picking up tickets for some of our friends. So when you travel to your favorite ballpark or when you come right down here to Chase Field, that's why we picked that word. Be courteous to those fans around you. Use courtesy. Like if there's a little young boy. This happened in Houston. A young gal in Houston. There's a foul ball for her. Oh.
Whoa, wait a minute.
That one is a base hit into center field. Gerardo Parra. Parra with a single.
This was a chuck and duck situation. Watch Zimmerman here, folks. Look out. Gerardo Parra. He's got a couple of base hits tonight. Diamondbacks only have 3. He's got 2 of them. Wait, what was that adult lady doing to that little gal?
She took the ball. Juan Miranda tried to give it to the little gal, and she took it from her.
Took it right from her.
That was in Houston. And that was last
that's
Friday.
Just beyond wrong.
Oh, bless her heart. Oh, boy. Well, we sent a ball down. One of our fine technicians there that works on our crew in Houston gave her a ball. Sean Burroughs pinch hits. 0-1 the count. We're going to have to finish this story because it has a happy ending. She got 2 baseballs.
I need to. I can't live with that, what I just saw.
We're going to finish it. We just snuck in real quickly there. The 0-1 to Burroughs is a breaking ball.
I mean, was that lady arrested?
I don't think so. There's a night for Zach Duke. 5 innings, 10 hits, 4 runs earned. No walks and 6 strikeouts. Burroughs hits for him. Sean 3 of 15 a majority of the time as a pinch hitter. That one is up and away. So be courteous. We couldn't let that go. We noticed that. And
okay, it's courteous or courtesy?
Well, it's courtesy.
Okay.
Show courtesy to fans near you.
I got you.
And if there's a little 9-year-old girl, line drive, base hit, all sorts of people cheering now. Arizona trying to build a little comeback here. And again, with 2 outs, if they can get 1 or 2 back against this tough right-hander.
Yeah, just watching that lady in Houston make you mad. That's what you want the Diamondbacks to do. Just get a little mad. That's a nice piece of hitting there by Sean Burroughs, just ripping it right over the head of Ian Desmond at shortstop. And turning over the lineup, Ryan Roberts, he's been the best of all Diamondbacks in this situation, and that situation is runners in scoring position.
Roberts with runners in scoring position on the season, as you can see, hovering around 400. Let's see if he shows the same patience he has shown. He was talking and sharing with us in Denver, Colorado, that what has helped him the most is he had a little talk with himself this winter, is he had to be more selective early. You don't get in hitter's counts unless you earn your way. His skipper looks on. As the 1-0, 1-1. Picked on a hanging breaking ball last night, part of the comeback.
That was the beginning of the comeback right there, and that was in the 6th inning.
Fastball belted right field, but there to make the play is Jason Worth. Roberts was 6 of 14 with 2 outs. With runners in scoring position, they got him that time. Tonight could be Gracie's night. Look at you, my friend.
Yeah,
an inside cut, and Gracie on he goes. Oh,
he stinks.
Look at this sign.
That was one of the better efforts there.
How do we say that
Did
word?
you see the spelling bee today? Did you see that kid
did.
spell that word? Can I have the
Your runner
origin of the
cannot
word?
spell win.
Can you use it in a sentence? Yeah, I'd like you to win.
Boy, another proud night for
Yeah,
me anyway.
Golly.
It's getting to be a lot of fun.
No, it's not.
Here's Jerry Hairston. Micah Owings takes the baseball, and he goes to work, nailing the inside corner, the right-hander. A couple of dependable starts before he was moved to the bullpen when Zach Duke joined the rotation. 2.92 ERA. And with Owings, this is, if you can stay effective, the rest of the day might be yours, because he can at least help you with the bat. We know that. Swing and a miss. That lively fastball jumps out of the zone. 1-2, the count to Hairston.
He does somehow, some way get a lot of chases up out of the zone. He gives you that elbow first.
At about 87 miles an hour. He has said he realizes he doesn't throw as hard as his teammate Daniel Hudson. That one is up. But he realizes he has a lot to learn from Hudson. He says he watches Hudson closely, although last couple of outings have been tough for Daniel.
And he just absolutely blew Jerry Hairston's doors off right here with high fastballs right by him. He swung one up for strike 2 and one even higher for strike 3. That's just smart pitching. How high will you chase? Just keep throwing it up there.
A little dip and bend as that one grabs the outside corner. So far, you see the movement, folks. These are all fastballs so far. That one dives down and away. Another one. By the way, time to go to work if you're Arizona. Keep it right here because San Francisco's about to win. Popped up to the right side and into the seats it goes. The Giants now with a couple of outs to get. One out to be specific. Lead 12-7. 12-7 over St. Louis.
That's a very un-San Francisco type game. Usually they try to beat you 3-2, 2-1.
That is out to Roberts. Shuffles those feet. And on across for the second out of the inning.
And the first time they've retired Jordan Zimmerman tonight. He came into that at bat 2 for 2. So Mike Owings looking good here in his first inning of work.
Owings felt as the roster decision was made this past Saturday that his spot was in doubt until he found out Saturday morning that the decision to send Cam Michalio down instead of a starter, if you will, in Owings, or Zach Kroenke as well, who made it as the changeup is outside. I didn't take anything for granted. I was more than willing to go down if they wanted me to stay stretched out as the quote-unquote 6th or 7th starter. Swing and a miss, but he likes pitching out of the bullpen. And you know, more than anything, working for Kevin Towers, he likes pitching in the major leagues.
Very well said and very well done, Mike Owens.
Summary. If you're just joining us, it's brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. A small college guy out of Wisconsin has been the story on the mound, and then a big old fella out of Jamaica has been the other side of the story. Some offense for these Nationals. They have come in swinging the bat. They did so against the Phillies. And then on this plate, just legging it out. The man behind the plate, Ramos, and that cost him a run. There's that big old biscuit eater, Mike Morse.
I have a feeling he eats more than that.
My goodness. And Zimmerman has been fabulous. Exceptional. He hasn't needed, we talked about the usage of changeups. His change of speeds has really been with the curveball. There it is. little bit more on Kelly. Let's bring Brad in. Brad, what do you got down there?
Well, earlier today, talking with D-backs hitting coach Don Baylor, that in and of itself is a treat. We were talking about Kelly and how he's changed things around. And, you know, earlier on he said he just simply wasn't swinging at strikes. He was pressing too much. But ever since that time, the bat is staying in the zone for a longer period of time. And then he said something kind of interesting. He said, you know, his power to the opposite field is something you can't teach and something pretty rare. And then he just started talking about Reggie Jackson after that. Reggie Jackson, when he first broke in, and obviously Don played against Mr. October many years, he said, you know, Reggie had incredible power to the opposite field. Now, he wasn't comparing the two guys, but it's interesting that he would draw a comparison. Kelly Johnson can go the opposite way in a hurry, and he's got back on track, guys.
Well, that tells you two things. Thank you, Brad. That Kelly's got some pretty good opposite field power. We know that, as that one is a fastball that blows him away, and that you're being coached by a man with a wealth of experience that he can lean on guys all the way back into the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and now in the new millennium. Mr. Baylor has given a lot to this game.
Boy, if you're Kelly Johnson, you're getting compared to Reggie Jackson. That's big league. That's Hall of Fame stuff.
No, he's actually not comparing.
I mean,
Brad went out of his way to say that. If you heard that part, he's not comparing. He just said he's a poor man's Reggie Jackson. Right, oh boy, right back through the box. Zimmerman will recover. Let's hope he's all right.
Well, I think he's probably a tough kid from Wisconsin. He ain't going to rub it. Wherever he got hit, he ain't going to rub it. But he's kind of slow. I think it got him in his glove hand, like his glove elbow. Yeah, he's trying not to rub it. Okay, watch his glove hand, his glove elbow area. It looked like maybe the wrist, the upper palm area. Oh, Justin hit that ball awfully hard, too. Yeah, right in the glove hand area, which is not going to affect his pitching at all or his release. He's going to be just fine.
So if you want to know how tough he is, the year he was drafted so high and began his pro career, Wisconsin Stevens Point, he pitched through a broken jaw, pulled wisdom teeth.
Huh?
He was hit with a line drive in batting practice, pitched with his mouth wired shut. He had 11 screws in his mouth during his senior year in college. He had wires and rubber bands and had lost 15 pounds. With all that going on, he still was a second-round pick at the end of that season. So he's tough. He was tough. He proved it being drafted that year. And you know, Gracie, being a baseball player, no matter your position, when you're young, you don't want to be dropping 15 pounds off your frame. And that's whether you're a hitter or a pitcher.
I could probably stand 2 now.
When you're young.
Oh, yeah.
In college. It's not you. 0-1 the count. Hot shot into right field. Worth is there. And just in case, he'll shoot it back in.
Tough luck there for Stephen Drew. He smoked that ball. But unfortunately, it was right to Jason Worth. That would have been extra bases, but it's nothing now.
Every time a Diamondbacks player hits a homer this season, Fulton Holmes donates $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. I guess we're going to have to go ahead and call for rally cap soon.
Really?
There we go. She's ready. She's got the rally lid on. Which is appropriate because this is the lid lifter of this 4-game series.
And I'm glad you said that. It's a reminder of my 2 boys at home. Make sure you're sanitary when you hit the facilities.
No, the lid lifter, it just means the first game of the series. Lifting the lid off of the series.
Oh, I thought you were reminding all those young boys at home. Don't be gross.
Here is CY, line drive right. There's that guy again.
He's everywhere. Jason Worth. Make sure to lift the lid.
Brought to you by Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, no blackout dates. Fries. Like us on Facebook during today's game, receive a coupon for huge savings. Fries, fresh food, famous low prices. CenturyLink. Quest is becoming CenturyLink. Your link begins here. Find out more at CenturyLink.com/link. We welcome you back to the ballpark. Mark Grace, Darren Sutton, and you. And we trust to this point your day has been a good one. It's been a really good one for that young man.
He's been phenomenal, hasn't he?
It's been fun to watch him work. Pitching like he certainly belongs up here, and like he is an important part of this Nationals' future going forward. It's an interesting future, to say the least. A club that was not shy about investing in Jason Worth, who is on deck, and over the last couple of years, they have not shied away from some high-dollar top picks in the draft as well. And again, Mike Rizzo very aggressively trying to build these Washington Nationals into a contender. Steven Strasburg recovering from Tommy John surgery. He was dynamic last season. And Bryce Harper right now in low A ball doing huge work. That one is a shot down to the right side. And these two organizations, with the veteran and future Hall of Famer Pudge Rodriguez looking on, these Diamondbacks, these Nationals, will affect one another in the draft. Arizona picks third.
Right.
Washington picks sixth, and Arizona picks seventh. They have two picks, third and seventh. That one is fouled off. And the draft, of course, starts Monday. So Kevin Towers will watch what Mike Rizzo's bunch does. In number 6, for sure, they're both coveting polished pitchers. Guys that are polished at the college level, like UCLA's Trevor Bauer, Virginia's Danny Holtzen.
Not necessarily a high school guy.
Not necessarily. There is a young man by the name of Dylan Bundy, an Oklahoma high school star that they say is very polished. As that one is popped up. Kelly, did he snag it off the grass? He did. Nice play.
So they're thinking pitcher or pitchers, not necessarily a hitter.
That's the word. They're not really playing their hand very much, obviously.
Well, of course not. They
but
can't.
Both teams would like polished pitchers. And there's some good ones. This is a deep draft. Roland Heeman will be in attendance in Secaucus, New Jersey.
He's been through a few drafts, hasn't he?
He'll be there at the MLB Network representing the Arizona Diamondbacks, along with Mike Fetters, who is an assistant to Kevin Towers.
There's Fett over there sitting in the boss's suite. Mike always makes Jason Worth jackknife out of the way of that one.
Mike has never been afraid of coming inside, has he?
You can't be. And no, he's one of the guys that we never had he's got his hitters' backs.
1-1 to count.
Good pitch after coming inside, come right back outside with the breaking ball and get just a defensive check swing from an awfully good hitter in Jason Worth.
1-2 the count.
Well, he wants one up and in again.
We told you how hot Worth had been against these Diamondbacks. Really tearing them up the last few years. He is 0 for 3 tonight. That one is pounded foul. Again, that draft, the Major League Baseball amateur draft, is Monday. And it continues on in the early part of the upcoming road trip, a trip to Pittsburgh and Florida.
Two very tough places to win. And before he starts saying that about Pittsburgh.
I'm not.
Exactly. They're a much improved team and a team that swept the Diamondbacks last year in Pittsburgh. Oh, dear.
Into center field. Worth was ready for it. Young looks up. Just below that yellow line, a very similar landing spot to that off the bat earlier in the ball game of Wilson Ramos in the first inning.
That one just got a little bit too much plate for Jason Worth. Michael Owings. Bell tie right down Broadway, and Worth smoked it. But he hit it just on such a line that it couldn't get over the top of that yellow line out there. And this is a matchup I want to see right now. Here comes that big old boy and Michael Morse. And another big old boy and the guy that has got no back down in him, and that is Micah Owings. So I want to see the results of this matchup.
Had him out front, threw him a breaking ball.
Got him. It only took him one pitch to get him.
Pops that one up into foul territory.
It wasn't quite Bob Welch versus Reggie Jackson, but it worked out awfully well for Micah Owings.
Boy, in the late 70s, that's a great memory in the World Series.
That's one of the best all-time power-on-power at-bats I've ever seen. But now, you know, we can look more often to Kelly Johnson's at-bats. And he's been compared to Reggie Jackson.
Right, no, he actually wasn't. He was just talking about other players with great opposite field power, Don Baylor was.
Oh. Well, I'm still looking forward to him.
Switch hitter Danny Espinosa takes a good-looking changeup that dives out of the zone on the corner. 0-1 the count. Got the call there.
Remember that matchup with Bob Welch and Reggie Jackson?
I was there. Clearly remember.
Were you really?
You bet.
You were there, huh? I don't know how many pitches that at-bat took, but it was one of the coolest. And I really wasn't a fan of either team. I was just a fan of the game. And boy, that was incredible. Nothing but fastballs from Welch.
The crowd that night in Dodger Stadium. Swing and a miss, 2-1 the count. I was fortunate enough to actually be on the field as the ball boy when that occurred.
Really?
And I have one of the baseballs that was fouled back to the screen that says 75th World Series on it.
You still have it?
I still have it. 2-1 the count. That one is high. That's why I got excited when you mentioned it.
Were you younger than him?
Much younger. That was back before the Darren Baker rule.
Ah, yes. In San Francisco. Dusty's son.
Swing and a miss. Down he goes. Wow. Fires that bat down. Spikes the helmet. Espinosa's mad.
Diamondbacks Live, presented by CenturyLink. Todd Walsh along with Joe Borowski will be hosting the affair. And Joe, on our faux pas interview with Ray Knight in the pregame show, you, me, Darren Sutton, we talked about Jordan Zimmerman. He came as delivered, didn't he?
I'm impressed. He's done a great job tonight. He's got a good downward hill fastball, good curveball, and he's mixed them up really well. He's silenced these Diamondback bats, and I'll show you how he's done it to keep these bats silent.
We'll look forward to that. By the way, Darren, I wasn't as enamored with the Bob Welch, Reggie Jackson things maybe you guys were, but that's
I understand.
Geographical problem.
I understand. I'm sorry, Todd. I apologize. I know that was your team. Want to offend Yankee fans out there? Well, that's the last thing we want to do.
No, we really don't mind.
Very good stuff. Miguel Montero is ready to go. And who needs Ray Knight, by the way? We love Ray, but they had to use him for production. The tape is open. He would have been much better, by the way, than anything I provided on these Nationals. We're starting to get a lot of communication we have to get back to here in a minute. As Miguel Montero digs in and takes a strike over the outside corner. 0-1 the count on Miguel. Zimmerman tossing a shutout. He's never gone the distance, and his pitch count is certainly manageable. He has a chance to give it a go. Home Depot doing more on defense. Espinosa, Montero hitting, and a fabulous play by Danny, who's got an edge defensively, and we saw after that last out that he made, he's got an edge.
He was none too pleased when he struck out against Micah Owings.
High drive into left center field toward the gap, hitting the wall. It goes. It's off that wall. Miguel hustles in. It's fired. It's close.
Wow.
He is just in there.
Remember the arm of Rick Ankiel as the pitcher? Well, he's also got the same talented arm that no longer pitches, but boy, that was about a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Not very often that you double off the wall in a gap and you just beat the throw. Woo! That was impressive.
Would have a center fielder with an arm like that. Well, there's your leadoff double. You have got to score this run now. If there is going to be another big night for Arizona coming back.
Well, and also, you don't have to get all four in this inning. If you can get one or two, now you maybe get into the bullpen a little bit.
One and one the count in 80. They really defense Nady into right center field a bunch in the outfield. The gap is wide open in left center. They're swung way around as Ankiel. That one has popped up and into the seats, and that's our good friend Bo Porter taking care of that. For the National staff, he is down near the end of that dugout keeping an eye on his defenders. Probably the right spot for Nady, though. We saw his big damage on Sunday with the runner in scoring position. It was the other way for X. Two and two the count. There's Bo. Now the manager. Well, when your outfielders on defense, be easy to spot for where they want you to go. 2-2 the count. There he goes to right field, as we mentioned. There is Worth tracking, still going back. He's got it. My goodness, what a fine play by Worth.
Well, he's made a lot of good plays out there.
The runner tags and heads to third, so a productive out. And I'll tell you what about that play. In that triangle, for me, he made it look easy.
Well, it's just not having any fear. I mean, Nady drives this ball. Nady's driven a couple of balls tonight to no avail. Nice play by Worth. You'll easily give up outs for 90 feet right now if you're the Washington Nationals. Gerardo Parra's 2 for 2 tonight off of Jordan Zimmerman. Kind of the right man in the right spot. And on deck is Juan Mirandas. Evidently he's feeling okay. That's good to see.
Well, we were worried. He was scratched from the game. He was in the starting lineup. There he is in the on deck circle. 0-1 the count. Hot shot. Morse leaves his feet. A little flip. Nice play. Parra hustling.
Now, these Nats are playing some D tonight. They are flashing big leather.
Morse is a guy that can play a couple of places on the diamond. With LaRoche injured, his assignment, Gracie's been at first.
I mean, this ball's hit very hard as well. And in between hop Really makes a gorgeous play, and actually a big play as well. Juan Miranda going to hit, so evidently he's feeling a little better.
So Parr with an RBI on that ground out for Gerardo, 16. 243, 5 homers, 15 batted in for Miranda. We're not quite sure what Gibson knew about Miranda. Find out in our post game. 0-1 to count. One ball and one strike on Juan. Looking to start another rally with 2 outs. Ryan Roberts waits on deck. Swing and a miss. Miranda just 1 of 11 with a walk in that Florida series. Just 1 for 11.
Well, that'll make you not feel good.
He came in red hot. He was rolling out on the road.
Had that huge game in Houston to turn the tide on a 6-run deficit. 2 2-run homers.
Two and 2 the count. Breaking ball bounces into the dirt. We'll do it again. Full count now as he tries to work himself on base. Zimmerman, pitch count getting closer to 100. Ryan Roberts waits. Skipper keeping an eye on him. Bullpen starting to move around and play some catch for Washington. Hot shot. Fine play again. Over to the bag, and he erases it. Morse. Couple of huge plays at first.
Going to his left, going to his right. 3 base hits. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Morse. Golly, what a good play.
The roof open. Gorgeous night for baseball. Days are getting warmer. Nights are still mild here in Arizona. Downtown Phoenix at Chase Field. Wilson Ramos will lead it off. Arizona got to run back. They trail it by 3 now. Esmerling Vasquez, his assignment, keep it right where it is. And the curveball misses outside. 1-0 the count. An even 3 ERA this season in his 22nd appearance. That one is a low strike right at the knees. You can see the first batter efficiency. That has been his bugaboo. With about 4 out of every 10 first batters reaching against Vasquez, just locking in early when he comes into a ball game. Curveball is outside, 2-1 the count. 27-year-old right-hander out of Tenares Salcedo in the Dominican Republic. Beat him with a fastball, so back to 2-2 is the count. Opting, by the way, and we should have spoke more in depth about it. We were, I think, just surprised to see Miranda and glad he was okay, but the option was there for Kirk Gibson to let Mike Owens take it the distance. Let him take it on down the line to the end of the ball game.
Maybe felt like he wanted to see something out of Esmeralda Vasquez. Or maybe save Micah for maybe either. Well, he could probably still go tomorrow. He didn't throw many pitches.
He's looked all right, hasn't he, out of the bullpen?
I think he's looked very good. And as that was grounded to Stephen Drew, will take care of that for the first out. I don't think Micah looked half bad as a starter either.
No,
he's thrown the ball very well since his recall from AAA. That's the bottom line. Wouldn't you say?
Clearly. Clearly, and I think what that does, too, Kirk Gibson, Kevin Towers have not been about comfort for players on the roster. They just haven't been. That gives you an option if you're any one of those guys in that starting rotation that has a bad couple of weeks. There's a guy there. We'll keep stretching him out. We'll keep throwing him. We'll give us a couple of days to stretch him out, or maybe a week to stretch him out. He's in that rotation.
Well, since the beginning of professional baseball, and it's at the major league level, it's at the minor league level, and it's also at the college level. And managers, coaches have been riding the hot hand forever. That's what managers do. That's what coaches do. And if you're not doing well, they're not going to continue to run you out there. They're going to send you to a different level, a lower level. And if you're throwing the ball very well, they're going to continue to run you out there. It's been that way since the beginning.
The 1-2, boy, he just put a clinic on him. Got a call on a pitch that was probably out, and then went right back with a changeup, and he races Ankiel.
That's a beautiful changeup there. Bottom falls out of it, and Ankiel right over the top of it. 2 quick outs here in the 8th inning.
So like you're saying that the folks up here in the big leagues, like Kevin Towers,
sure,
they're well aware of, like, Paul Goldschmidt.
Oh, it's tough not to be aware of Goldschmidt. Ah, man. That's my guy, Goldschmidt. Did you see what he did last night?
He homered again.
Yeah, 4 more RBIs.
Swing and a miss. Over the top, Jerry Hairston. Mr. Goldschmidt, I am told, has 18 homers and 52 RBIs in 53 games. But he's only slugging .684.
Yeah, just to,
so you're saying he's got his attention?
Yeah, if he doesn't, something's wrong.
0-1 the count.
He's got yours, doesn't he?
Breaking ball as well. I like to bring him up because of how you say his name.
Well, I'll also say, if I'm up here playing, I'm not pulling myself out of the lineup because I don't feel good.
1-1 the count on Hairston. By the way, he is in AA Mobile. I should point that out. I make the mistake of assuming you follow everything that goes on. He is a young first baseman out of Texas State, and he is in AA Mobile playing first base.
And I also want to say in Reno, there's a guy lighting it up as well. His name is Willie Mo Pena. He's doing just about what Goldschmidt's doing, except he's doing it in AAA.
2-1 the count. Hot shot. That's a foul ball.
Oh, nice play. That is a great play down there, and I'm going to tell you who that is, folks. That is one Joe Casper.
Look at
that.
Joe.
That is a great play by Joe. And down the right field line, we got Gregor Carr. But a nice play by Joe.
That heart skipping. He's excited. That was a fine play.
Joe Casper. We call him Joe Cat.
Two fought it off. Kelly tries to recover, and he does. All right, Vasquez with a clean inning. See if the boys can get it going. Joe Cat, great play, and an even better nickname.
The Diamondbacks, and speaking of the Diamondbacks, you can take the D-backs wherever you go this season, but you have to subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every D-backs game on demand on your computer. Visit dbacks.com for details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere.
Good read, and Todd Coffey goes to work, the big fella, the right-hander, as he comes into the ball game. Coffey has had a good year. There's a handful of guys in that bullpen doing great work. His ERA 1.69. Verizon call to the bullpen.
Another big old boy, Todd Coffey. He's a different kind of big than Michael Morse.
He is a guy that really throws a heavy baseball, good sink. Comes right at you. Roberts ready. Liner, and it's a base hit. So Ryan Roberts with a single, and let's see what the Diamondbacks have up their sleeve.
Boy, Ryan Roberts didn't wait around. He just blistered the first pitch. He sees. He just promptly bangs it right into center field. And Jim Riggleman has seen enough of Todd Coffey. That was one pitch. Go ice your arm, Todd.
He wants a lefty to face Kelly Johnson. He's going to go get the lefty. We'll reset the situation.
They've got a good one in that young man.
When we come back, Burnett is on. It's a good bullpen. There are 3 or 4 deep that are talented. talking about what happened on Friday. A young gal thought she had a ball that was being flipped by Juan Miranda. It was taken from her. We noticed it up above. A member of our crew, Jen, who handles the audio, sent a baseball down this young lady with a smile on her face. Really, it's for me, a smile and a thank you, a baseball from the Diamondbacks. Be courteous when you come to the ballpark. Show courtesy.
That's great.
And maybe that'll be a rally starter. A lot of folks communicating with us. They wanted to know the end of the story. As Kelly Johnson faces Burnett, fastball nasty over the outside corner. Tough left-hander who has been cuffed around a bit.
He is a good one, though. Lefties only hit a whopping 200 off of him. That's why he's in for this batter and probably this batter only.
Kelly waves at a breaking ball. He did not go around. For a majority of Kelly's career, he has handled lefties to the surprise of opposing managers. This year, though, it's been tough all around. 1-1 the count.
Oh, what a jump.
Unbelievable jump. Roberts just stole it. I mean, he took off. Burnett lifted his leg, and Roberts was gone. There he is.
EY had something on Burnett because that is a very gutsy thing to be doing right there against a left-handed pitcher. Just going on his first move. When you're down by 3 runs, you better be crystal clear that he's going to the plate. And now the double play no longer in order and a chance to peck away even more. Missed again. 3-1.
During this 16-win, 3-loss run, the Diamondbacks are hitting .314 with runners in scoring position. That's number 1 in the National League. The 3-1.
Good pitch. Really nothing Kelly Johnson's going to be able to do with that pitch right there.
Toronto is the best in that span in the major leagues. Swing and a miss.
Boy, that's a big comeback right there by Burnett. He just threw a 3-1 and 3-2 fastball right by Kelly Johnson. Just right at the knees and right by him. And has he earned the right to face Justin Upton? It looks like he has. Jim Riggleman staying in the dugout.
Upton's having a hot homestand. 10 of 17, a double and 2 homers. I never saw the official measurement on that Friday's homer. That one is a strike.
They didn't have it on your website there? That
HitTracker.com?
I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, way up into the restaurant.
That probably had it about 325.
Leave the folks at Hit Tracker alone. They do a fabulous job. Scientific. Well done. You don't know how your cell phone works, but you use it. That would.
Well, sure I know how it works. Yeah. I sure know. I just.
You don't know all the parts, how they work together inside. I just go to Hit Tracker and I see how far the home runs are, just like your cell phone.
Yeah, but I know my cell phone works and works just fine.
1-1 the count. Upton, oh boy.
1-2, big rip. And he was waiting for it, and the bat head is right there, just underneath it, and fouled straight back.
Folks at Hit Tracker haven't updated for a couple of days.
Why not?
Well, I need an update. Must be Hit Tracker vacation.
Oh, that
hit him.
That one got him good.
Well, now in Stephen Drew, you have the tying base runner.
Yeah, that one got him real good there. Yeah, Justin none too pleased either. I don't blame him. Right in the back of the arm there in the tricep area. Fortunately for Justin, he's got some big old arms. Boy, that hurts. That wasn't a glancing blow at all. Wow, first game of a 4-game series. That's kind of marking your territory there if you're Burnett and these Nationals.
There's a holler out to Upton, who was a little bit frustrated. Pay attention to the signs. Swing and a miss, low breaking ball. Great job in the truck capturing that shot, by the way.
That.
He's walked in your shoes. He understands how bad it hurts. But he also expects in your shoes to pay attention to third base coach Matt Williams.
Ooh,
oh, boy.
Hanger. But it froze Stephen Drew.
By the way, the same folks that were asking for an update on our little girl in the giveaway baseball also sent us a note. We'll share with you in a moment. Stephen takes just off the plate. Some of those folks also joining us on D-Backs booth on Twitter wanted to let you know specifically by name that Paul Goldschmidt hit his 19th home run of the year tonight.
Oh, wow. Goldschmidt.
Big difference against lefties. Can he just hang in there?
No, he
Strike three.
He cannot. He got caught looking for a breaking ball, and he got frozen.
That was nasty.
And Jim Riggleman's going to make a move, and it looks like it's going to be a double switch. He is not going to let this left-hander face Chris Young. He's going to go to his pen again.
Gary Darling and Riggleman finished their conversation. The call is made to the bullpen. Chris Young waits. Drew Storen, the closer, coming on here in the 8th inning, looking for a 4-out save. This young man's tough. Jim Riggleman busy making some changes for the visiting club. Brian Bixler moves to third base, so Bixler in the 9 slot. He will lead off the next inning. Drew Storen, the young man out of Stanford, goes to work. He has been fabulous this year, has Storen. Indiana born and raised, but pitched collegiately at Stanford. Went to Brownsburg High School in Indiana. Drafted by the Yankees out of high school and went on to do his work at college in the Pac-10. Big time strike thrower.
Facing a guy with some big time power. These are fun matchups. Chris Young has had a flair for the dramatic here this season.
Storen looking for his 11th save of the season. He's got 10. He's looking to go the distance.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Wicked breaking ball.
Stop it.
For strike one. He has inherited 7 runners this year. 2 have scored. Remember, a lot of times he's starting just with a clean 9th as the closer. Fastball right field, the easy chance for Worth. Storen will have one more shot at these Diamondbacks as he looks to put it away as a 4-out save. Runners in scoring position. Storen clearly on the attack. Put him right away. We take a look ahead at the upcoming schedule. Colementor on the bump, then Saunders and Kennedy. Our good friend Levon Hernandez will take the mound Saturday. Remember, on the air at 4:30. Joe Garagiola will join me for the call. Luis Gonzalez as the color analyst tomorrow for the ball game. And Mark Grace will be back on Sunday as he is on network assignment. Starting pitchers hanging together right now as we speak. Daniel Hudson, one of the babies of this roster, at 24 years old in the rotation. Boy, nothing like a sippy cup and a trip to the yard.
Bring them all to the yard, folks. Need you here. Don't want you to miss this good baseball. First place D-backs. They got work to do.
Yeah, they do have work to do tonight, and they are tied for first with San Francisco, who has defeated St. Louis 12-7. Both teams 31-25. Arizona 16-3 in their last 19. Best team in the game in that stretch. Bixler takes a changeup that runs inside. 3-0 the count. Verizon Wireless call to the bullpen. Heilman, as that one is over the inside corner. 3-1 the count. First batters again. We talked about Esmerling Vasquez. One of the chinks in the armor for Heilman has been early first batters reaching. You can see that 44% of the time. Fastball, slider, and changeup. Inside, and unfortunately the beat goes on. Bixler, 3 of 21 this year. Draws just his third walk of the season.
Left fielder Roger Bernardino.
That's certainly a guy you want to make swing the bat, but unfortunately for Aaron Heilman, the number 9 hitter reaches base and the lineup turns over.
Turns over to Roger Bernardino, who reached on a fielder's choice, otherwise has struck out 3 times. Roberts has to play way in at third, just because of the bunt ability.
Change up and a beauty.
We saw Jim Riggleman a moment ago. I think a lot of folks are curious. You having played for him, saying you enjoyed playing for him. I'd love for you to expound upon why.
Well, he trusted his players. He was a guy that, hey, I'll be honest, I loved any manager that put my name in the lineup.
Sure.
But I just thought he was tough, but he was fair. He was demanding of his players, but in a very fair way. He let the veterans take care of the clubhouse. He didn't have to have his hands on everything. Didn't have to have his thumbprint on everything. He trusted his veterans, as that one's taken low. Trusted his veterans to take care of the guys in the clubhouse and to make sure the younger guys know how to carry themselves and go about their business.
He was 39 years old when he became a major league manager for the first time in San Diego.
San Diego.
Gracie, when you played for him, he was still in his early 40s in Chicago. Be confident enough as a young age and to be just a year or two older, maybe 3 than some of your veterans, and to still trust them. That takes confidence in yourself.
Absolutely. But not a guy that takes himself too serious. You saw the smile on his face right there. He was a longtime minor leaguer for the St. Louis Cardinals. Ended up being a coach with the Cardinals. Then finally got his big break when San Diego came a-calling, and he took that job. And the Nationals, he's doing a good job with these Nationals.
Pretty Bonnet has dropped down foul. He had a chance, Riggleman did, near the end of that minor league playing career to spend some time and be under the watchful eye, kind of be an assistant to Whitey Herzog.
Right.
And he gives a lot of credit to Whitey Herzog.
And he also was a long-time minor leaguer, never made it to the major leagues. So he tells these guys, these major leaguers, he's like, I understand how hard this game is. I wasn't good enough to play in the big leagues. So when you struggle, he understands. And he doesn't give up on you just because you struggle for 4 or 5 straight games.
3-2 the count.
And there's a guy that was a fine major leaguer, a star major leaguer.
Big jump. And this could be trouble because this one rolls. The runner out front already, and Bixler races on around. A big add-on run. Look at Bernardino Flock streaking on around for a triple. That's his first triple of the year. You tend to think with that speed he'll have more than just one. And a huge add-on run. 12 hits, now 5 runs.
Just stays back on a changeup and rifles it into right field. And by the time Chris Young gets it in, well, those feet are moving awfully quickly.
Over the inside corner to Ian Desmond. Now, by the way, even though that score is now 5-1, as Roberts makes a nice play and gets Desmond, it's still a save for Storen, even if he gets the last couple of outs here with a 4-run deficit. When he came in, it was a save situation.
That's exactly right.
And that's all that matters. So even though he's got a few more runs to work with, there's no let up from this young right-hander out of Stanford.
Yeah, and just remember, folks, this is not the Washington Nationals of yesteryear. These guys just beat up the best team in the National League 2 out of 3, the Philadelphia Phillies. And they've come out and played very well tonight. They've got very good pitching from their starter, Jordan Zimmerman.
And the big fella.
Oh, back-to-back big fellas, starting with Worth and then Morse.
I mean, that's an NBA front line. Worth is what, 7 feet, and Morse about 7'3"?
It's David Robinson and Tim Duncan.
That one bounces in there. It's been interesting watching Worth head to his position when he starts out on the bench. Little things you can do. What is talked about a lot on the nightly sports shows and in a lot of the articles is the money. We don't really talk about money on this show because it doesn't really matter when you're playing.
True.
He races to right field. And he's hit by a pitch. And that'll hurt.
That might be right fielder for right fielder. It used to work like that.
Yeah, it just may be. You're talking about Upton. He was hit earlier.
That's why I was mentioning earlier in the game. That in a 4-game series, once some shenanigans starts and maybe you think this guy's taking liberties out there, or maybe you think 4 games is a long time to see the same guys. And after a while, and in a matter of 4 games, tempers can start to flare. You can start getting sick of looking at each other. And somebody just might not be having a very good day. Maybe one of the children brought home a D on the report card, or maybe they got a flat tire on the way to the ballpark, or maybe their favorite team lost in another sport and they're just having a bad day, so you might just take it out on somebody else. Well, you know what that leads to, Darren?
A good old-fashioned Donnybrook?
That's exactly right. How'd you know?
Well, just had a feeling you'd say that. This is our 5th year working together. And I know. So, are we thinking there? Or?
Well,
I mean, Heilman struggled with his command. That's my only thought. He struggled, period.
And evidently Sean Burnett did as well when he hit Justin Upton.
So it's a possibility is what you're saying.
Well, it's a possibility.
All right.
I'm not saying Aaron Heilman did that on purpose, and I'm not saying Burnett did it on purpose. It's just used to be part of the game.
In a situation like this, where you're clinging for your life in the ball game,
are you?
I don't know. Popped up into center field. That one is in there for a base hit. That run scores. And that is an RBI by who else but a man with 4 hits, Mike Morse. Ties his career high. Well, he is hot. He is hot, hot, hot. They're all singles, but
he just gets the bat on the ball and he puts it in play. And he's just so doggone strong. Even when he hits it right off his thumbs, he gets it out into center field, enough for a base hit. Miguel Montero going to come out and talk. Joe Patterson's loose in the Diamondbacks bullpen. So I wonder if Gibby's going to go get Patterson. This is a switch hitter now in Espinosa.
It's actually, looks like, is that Patterson or is that Kroenke? I can't tell
sorry,
which one.
That's Kroenke. I apologize.
6-1 is the score. By the way, the 11-game hitting streak for Desmond.
And Jason Worth doing a little monkey business out there just to let Aaron Heilman know, yeah, you hit me. So I'm going to try to get in your head out here a little bit. A little gamesmanship.
Swing and a miss at a changeup. Morse's 11-game hitting streak is the 4th longest in Nationals history. We all remember Ryan Zimmerman's 30-game hitting streak back in 2009. Swing and a miss over the top of it. 0-2 the count. Worth is active at second. You noticed that earlier.
He's got a sore elbow still. Probably not too happy right now. Maybe the fry cook where he had breakfast, man, burned his breakfast. Whoa!
Bat flies, ball flies, and that is a souvenir. Oh, and 2 the count. That pitch is high. One and 2 the count to Espinosa, the switch hitter. Pickoff throw back with a slide is Worth. He's drawing their attention. Big secondary, big lead, huh? Morse behind him at first. They're not holding him on. We'll do it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. The Nationals with 13 hits in this ball game. The Diamondbacks with 7. Both have stranded 7. The 2-2. Outside, 3 and 2 the count.
Yeah, Heilman. Been a struggle tonight, and really has been a struggle most of the season for him. He's had a sore shoulder, and he's given up a run in 8 of 17 outings, Darren.
Tough go for him. A couple of really rough outings, though, as that one has fouled off. Some big outings that kind of skewed things for him. So let's hope he can piece it together now with the ground ball. Arizona 0 for 7 tonight with runners in scoring position. Washington 3 of 12. And Danny continues to work. 3-2. He got it.
Espinosa staring out at Heilman. Continues to stare out at Heilman. Now he walks back to the dugout.
Kind of reminds me of Ryan Roberts in Houston.
Well, one of Jason Worth got hit, and then he got one high and tight. Yeah, Ryan Roberts stared out. Actually, Ryan Roberts challenged an entire San Francisco dugout.
That's right. That was last year.
Remember, that's Mom's. No, it was this year. Bruce Bochy was having none of it.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Remember, that's Mom's little firecracker.
That's right. Here you go.
Now watch. There's the swing and the miss. And watch the stare. It'll happen. There it is. Now that starts, and that stayed there. The stare stayed there for about a good close to 10 seconds.
0-2 the count. Wilson Ramos.
Oh, we're going to have a Donnybrook before this one's all over, boys and girls.
Well, we anticipated one last year with Washington when Mark Reynolds had his helmet knocked off by Colin Ballister.
Hitting the head, you're right.
There was nary retaliation from Arizona. Outside, 1-2 the count. This club's different this year. This Diamondbacks team is different than last year's team. 1-2 the count. Hot shot. There is Roberts. He puts it away. Couple of big add-on runs, though. Now Storen looks to get 3 outs and a save. out of a small college in Wisconsin. Stevens Point, our APS Energy All-Star, threw good curveballs when he needed to, attacked with a low to mid-90s fastball with accuracy, and was absolutely fabulous tonight. Everything is advertised. We heard good things about the right-hander who had pitched 5 solid starts in the month of May and June. He keeps it going. Rally caps are on. The Stanford product, Drew Storen, is still out there. Storen has a couple of saves this year that are more than an inning, 2 to be exact. Well, this is nothing new. Actually had a 6-out save earlier this year against Milwaukee.
Well, it has been pitching tonight for the Washington Nationals. It's been some timely hitting as well. They kind of followed the.
Just have to have faith, say these
exactly
Diamondback
right.
fans.
But they kind of had a great recipe tonight, did the Nationals. They got great pitching, but they got an early lead. Then they added on in the 5th and just continued to soar.
Miguel Montero didn't wait around, went after the first pitch on a ground out to short. So Xavier Nady. Storen, as a young man, had a chance to actually bat boy for the Montreal Expos. Interestingly enough, he ended up signing with the same franchise when they became Washington. He lived in the Midwest in Indianapolis.
Oh, okay.
His father, Mark, had a connection.
Yeah, that was the AAA club for the Expos, Indianapolis.
And there was a connection there, so that when the Expos came to Great American Ballpark, or to Cincinnati, better said, not Great American Ballpark at that point. When they came to Cincinnati, he had a chance to bat boy for the Expos.
Les Expos.
Love the old school lid there. That's a great look.
There were some really good teams in Montreal during my time. Some great players, some great teams. Just unfortunately not enough fans and a terrible mascot.
That is right down the middle. So do you think that UP, the name of the mascot, that was the name, folks, if you don't remember, you actually think that had something to do with the team being relocated, their mascot?
Well, I think it had to have something to do with it.
All right. 2-1 the count. Nady backlegging it, fouls it into the broadcast area, or I should say the press area. Thankfully, that whole room of non-athletes, everyone's okay. They're all fine. Jack Magruder, I'll tell you up there on FoxSportsArizona.com.
There's Jack.
Just really, he's a great rider. He's broken some big stories this year, but just struggling. The ball was right there for him, and that is close to strike 3.
This was Jack's turn to boot one over there.
Yeah, and we love the way he writes. I tell you, he gets after the story. We're glad to have him on FoxSportsArizona.com. Hopefully he won't write about dropping that ball. It just kind of was there for him. Landed like a feather. The 3-2. Nady drives it well, struck toward the pool in right center field. Up and over, and into that pool it goes. Rattling around or in the pool area, so Nady with the double. His first hit of the ball game. Hey there, guys, you got it. Nice, well done, boys.
Nice going, boys. Just a fastball challenge, and Nady drills it into right field. Ankiel just couldn't run it down, and it bounces right to that gentleman there who kind of treated that one like Jack Magruder.
That was just, wow.
The good news is he gladly gave it to the kid, unlike that lady in Houston.
Oh, last Friday?
Oh.
That pitch is low to Gerardo Parra.
Just disgusting.
Well, courtesy, that's our word of the day.
Right. Like everywhere you go, you get a courtesy car.
Yes, that's true.
Kind of like that.
We need a new piece of equipment here. Diamondback fans earlier, look at this.
Nope.
She drops the ball, ended up rolling down. Whoa, somebody could have just grabbed it. Hey, that's mine. No, that's hers.
See, that's what Diamondback fans do. Yeah, make the lady happy. That was nice. Don't steal it from a child. How minor league is that?
That would never happen in the minor leagues, so I don't even know what to call it.
It's just heartless.
The 1-0. Parra nabbed by Storen. He won't worry about Nady. He's just getting the out, and Nady scampers back to the bag. So the Nationals, 1 out away from making it 3 of their last 4 victories as they took the series against the Philadelphia Phillies. And Willie Bloomquist, the bold Bloomquist, who daringly on a ground out went from first to third last night. A high wire act move that kept these Diamondbacks sparked and rolling. 3 pitches or less for the Diamondbacks has been the norm tonight. 20 of the 35 batters. As Willie goes after the first pitch. Shoots that one up and into the seats. What are your thoughts, Gracie, when you look back on this? I know Willie took a huge risk and he knew it. He said so after the game.
You better be safe. And he was, so he got there, but it was awfully close. And he ended up scoring the eventual winning, or the go-ahead run at the time.
Oh, that's courteous. Gerardo Parra just gave his bat away to a young fan.
And no lady stole it from him.
No. No, that gal there was just excited for him.
Yeah.
Said, I don't like that bat anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's also broken.
Very good stuff, Mr. Parra. 0-2 the count. To the right side, that would have been extra bases. So we'll do it again. Look forward to seeing you all weekend long here at Chase Field. This club that will look to 16 wins in their last 20 games on their resume, should they not put together a miracle rally at this point. Try to play themselves back into first place. Bouncing ball, Arizona beaten by the Nationals tonight. 1/2 game out of first place, trailing the San Francisco Giants. Storen very good to lock it down. Mr. Zimmerman, Jordan Zimmerman, was the story tonight. He was fabulous. Let's talk about things in the post-game show. We know Todd and Joe are ready to go. So after this commercial break, CenturyLink presents our post-game show. So stay with us. Got a lot to